Hey everyone, welcome back to Old Bux. I know what you're going through. You're trying to attract someone's attention, someone you were really into. You did everything you could. You were kind, always there, even sacrificing your own life and priorities just to make them see your worth, to make them choose you. But instead they rejected you. They became distant, started ignoring you, leaving you feeling like an afterthought. So you made the bold choice to become silent, maybe even walked away, disappearing from their life completely. Now you might be sitting there hoping they'll finally take notice, or maybe you found a new independence and are loving it. Whatever the case, you're in this no-contact phase, and staying strong isn't easy. You've already taken the courageous step of pulling back your energy, showing them you won't be taken for granted. But now that ache is creeping in. There's that pull, a longing to reach out, to send just one last message, one last call, hoping they'll finally realize what they lost. But before you undo all your efforts, let me ask you something. Have you become so blinded by your feelings for them that you've forgotten what they've done to you? Take a step back and really look at yourself. They've disregarded your feelings, ignored your worth, and acted as if you were nothing more than a convenience. And you know what? They're still living their life, not stopping to care for your feelings, your worth, or your sacrifices. So why are you still caring for theirs? Nobody should care about your worth if you don't see it in yourself. If you're willing to break your boundaries to gain their attention, they shouldn't respect them. The truth is that if you reach out to them now, or let yourself fall back into old habits, you're not choosing yourself. You're giving up all the strength it took to walk away. If they're not choosing you, then let me ask you, are you choosing yourself? Are you seeing your true worth? If you're prepared to surrender and discard all your hard work for a fleeting approval, the response is unquestionably negative. Say it with me. I choose myself over contact. Don't just say it, believe it, make it your truth. Write it down for all time. The comments are the perfect place to do this. Let everyone know where you stand, and most importantly, remind yourself not to shy away in this moment. Declare it clearly. I choose myself over contact. Own it, and let's move forward with strength, as our wise legend said. As Robert T. said, you should respect yourself enough to leave behind things that don't help you grow or make you happy. It's not a loss to walk away if they don't see your worth. It's a victory. When you choose yourself, something powerful happens. Other people start to see the value you've been carrying all along. By walking away and standing strong, you set a standard that demands respect. They no longer view you as an option. They see you as someone worth fighting for, because you finally saw it in yourself first. I know you want to reach out, but you're determined to hold tight during this no-contact phase. I'm here to help you with a powerful Stoic lesson today. You'll learn some Stoic secrets that will make it easier to stay strong during this difficult time, using simple but effective strategies. Stick with me, because these tips will give you the strength to stand firm and may just get their attention back in a way that words and music could never describe. Number 1. Trust the path you've chosen. Therefore, the first thing you should do right now is trust the path you've chosen and never doubt the power of no contact. It's normal to have a voice that asks, what if they move on? What if they don't come back? This doubt is exactly what makes so many people break no contact and reach out to send that one last message, hoping for a response. But that very doubt and fear is what keeps you from real growth and strength. For those who doubt this is the right move, consider what chasing, begging, and proving yourself have yielded. Did it help them see how valuable you are? Did it make them appreciate you more? No, it probably only made them push you further away. No contact is about regaining power and control you lost by putting others first, so forget it. This path is for your growth, healing, and self-respect. When we're constantly present, we become background noise in their lives. No contact lets them experience the silence and the void where your energy once was. They start to feel your absence and notice that something important is missing. Your silence compels them to acknowledge what they've lost, confront the repercussions of their actions, and ultimately acknowledge your value independently. I am aware that you have a deep affection for them, and that the act of refraining from visiting them is akin to a struggle. I understand, but by staying strong in no contact, you're choosing yourself. You're giving them the space to truly understand your worth, and more importantly, you're giving yourself the space to grow and find strength you didn't know you had. When you hold firm, you're showing them that you're not giving up on them. Someone who needs to chase anyone's approval or validation, you are whole and valuable on your own, and that confidence is magnetic. So here's a mantra for you, an affirmation to keep you grounded. I trust my path. Say it with me now. Write it down. Hold it in your mind. Let it replace any doubts that creep in. And if you're ready to commit to this, to trust in your own strength and resilience, then write it in the comments for once and for all. I trust my path. You're not just holding on through no contact. You're taking back control. This is just the beginning. Stick tight, because each step forward builds the foundation of the new you. And as you stay on this path, not only will you see your own strength and growth, but they'll start to see it too. This journey has just begun, and the power is now in your hands. And stay with me tight, because the real magic of this video is just getting started next. We'll dive into a powerful technique that will truly strengthen your resolve during no contact. So folks, look at how important this step is and how much I understand your struggles and feelings. Many of you are watching and taking notes, but you're not hitting the like button. It really hurts, people. I'm doing everything I can to help you, and it's straightforward to show your thanks by clicking that thumbs up button. If you found this helpful, please click the like button and let's keep going. Second, do the mirror challenge. The mirror challenge, the next technique I discussed, will significantly improve your performance. You might be wondering what looking in a mirror has to do with staying strong during no contact, but it's more than you might think. Not only does the See the Mirror challenge encourage self-reflection, but it also fosters a perception of yourself that aligns with your worth. It's about accepting your own worth and breaking free from needing approval from others, especially the person you want to attract. Let's start with a simple truth. Marcus Aurelius said that you are only responsible for the person staring back at you. Once you realize this, you will find strength. The mirror challenge is about building that strength day by day until you see yourself as the strong, valuable person you are. Every day, look yourself in the eye and ask yourself, am I treating myself with the respect I deserve? This isn't just a quick look, it's a moment to see you. Look at your eye strength and face determination. Talk to yourself with the same respect and kindness you would show a close friend. Recognize the problems you're having and tell yourself, I am enough on my own. Imagine that one day you look in the mirror and instead of seeing all the flaws you've been through, you see your resilience and strength. You begin to see the person who has survived so much. Standing tall. That's the power of the mirror challenge. Not about ego, but about remembering that you don't need others to tell you how valuable you are. Now I know what some of you are thinking. I should look at myself in the mirror and say, that sounds silly. It might feel weird at first, and you might even start laughing at yourself, which isn't a negative thing. Humor can smooth out the rough spots and make things that seem strange easier to handle. Don't fear the pain. Each time you do this, you train your mind to see you differently and find value. So what if it's challenging for you to be kind to yourself? So what if that's self-doubt? Who are you kidding? This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Remember that Stoicism teaches us that the hardest wars are often the ones we fight within ourselves. First decide what you want to be, then take action. You're not pretending to be strong or worthy. You're practicing it until it becomes natural. Think of it this way. Every day when you look in the mirror, you're judging your own worth like an appraiser judging a masterpiece. You wouldn't look at a Van Gogh or Da Vinci painting and think, "This needs approval from someone else to be worth something." Its inherent value mirrors yours. You're priceless, unique and whole, no matter who else sees it. The mirror challenge is about understanding that no one else decides your worth. During no contact, it's straightforward to feel the pull of needing someone else to validate you. The mirror challenge changes that script by having you say positive things to yourself every day. You're telling yourself that you don't need anyone's approval to feel valuable. Your worth doesn't go down just because someone else doesn't see it. In fact, as soon as you start to see yourself differently, others will start to see you more clearly too. Respect for oneself attracts others. The world will notice, and yes, even the person you're not talking to right now will feel that change. They'll start to wonder why you're so steady and grounded, and your silence will hit them even harder. Every day, say this to yourself. I am my own source of strength out loud as you look in the mirror. It might feel weird at first, but own it. If you need to, write it down. If you're ready to commit, write it in the comments. I am my own source of strength. It's more than just a phrase. It's a statement that you don't need to validate. You don't just do the mirror task once. You do it every day. This is a discipline that builds inner strength over time. Every day you practice, you're reminding yourself of the powerful truth that your value isn't up for debate. You're not doing this for anyone else. You're doing it for yourself, and the results will speak for themselves. But bear with me, because to really master this no-contact phase, you have to make sure you're following all 8 steps. If you think you can skip any of them, remember that they build on the others, giving you strength and resilience that's difficult to shake. This mirror challenge alone will give you clarity and confidence, but it's only the beginning. Together, these steps will help you reclaim your power and stand strong like never before. Today is one of the most important days of your journey. Let's take it to the next level. In the no-contact phase, it's easy to start wondering if they're watching, if they're noticing your absence, and if they're missing you. But here's the painful truth. When you start living for validation, you give someone else control of your happiness and worth. Once you let go of that need, you gain power. Living with purpose will do 2 magical things for you. First, it will help you thrive in the no-contact phase by giving you the inner strength and direction to stay grounded. Second, it will show them your true worth, making them realize what they've lost and often leading them to come back. It's amazing how powerful living with purpose is. You exude confidence and strength that others want to be around. You are no longer the one waiting. You are the one choosing your way. When you live with purpose, you prioritize your inner motivation over external opinions. It's about creating a life so full of meaning and direction that you don't need anyone else's approval or attention. Epicus wisely said, "If you want to improve, be content to be considered foolish and stupid." What he meant by this is that you should live for yourself instead of the opinions of others, because true growth and purpose don't always show up in the outside world. Imagine going to the gym to get stronger, healthier, or more disciplined, not to impress. Your reason is the only thing that makes you pleased after a workout. You're not doing it to please other people. It's a promise to yourself, and that's what makes it powerful. Living with a purpose gives you inner strength that doesn't waver when people leave, don't text back, or don't notice what you're doing. On the other hand, living for praise is like building a house on quicksand every time someone likes it. It's exhausting, draining, and leaves you feeling empty. By living with purpose, you break that cycle and find fulfillment no one else can take away. You might be thinking, but I still care what they think of me. which is normal. That's where Stoic wisdom comes in. Stoics believed in the power of detachment, which doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but letting go of the hold that external validation has on us. Living with purpose means that your self-worth isn't based on how other people see you. It's based on your own beliefs, values, and goals. How do you start living with purpose? First, figure out what's most important to you. Is it personal growth? Make a list of the things that provide you with a sense of purpose and joy, irrespective of other people's opinions. Commit daily time to one of these areas, even if it's in a minor manner. Gradually, you'll observe that as your purpose intensifies, your desire for approval diminishes. Living with purpose also makes you more attractive. Indeed, this applies even to the individual you're not currently in contact with. People are drawn to those who are grounded in something deeper and aren't swayed by every opinion or rejection. When you have purpose, you radiate confidence and resilience. Instead of wondering if they're noticing you, you'll be too focused on your own growth to even care. Ironically, that's often when they start noticing the shift in you. Now, what if you find yourself still craving validation? What if you're checking your phone hoping they'll reach out? This is where discipline comes in. Remind yourself that every moment you spend seeking approval is a moment you could be spending building something real. When that pull for validation strikes, replace the habit of seeking validation with the habit of investing in your purpose. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be that person." Instead of wondering if other people see your worth, prove it to yourself by living with integrity, purpose, and intention. You'll find that this sense of direction not only brings peace, but also makes you strong enough to handle the highs and lows of other people's opinions. Here's an affirmation for you. I live with purpose, not for approval. Say it aloud, write it down, and post it in the comments if you're dedicated. I live with purpose, not for approval. Let this be your mantra as you go through this phase and beyond. Living with purpose isn't just a step in no contact. It's a way to reclaim your life. You don't wait for approval or recognition when you live this way. You're so engrossed in creating a life that aligns with your values and goals that you're laying a foundation that no one can undermine, regardless of who enters or exits your life. It will be hard, but it's important to accept reality as it is. When we're not in touch, it's simple to imagine that they're missing us and feeling uneasy about their choices, or that they're just one message away from getting in touch. But here's the harsh truth. You have to face reality, not the version of it you wish for. Accepting reality doesn't mean giving up hope. It means focusing on the here and now so you can move forward instead of living in illusions. Right now, they're not here. They're not calling, texting, or showing up the way you had hoped. It's painful, but it's also freeing because you stop wasting time and energy on what-ifs and mays. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, don't wish for things to happen the way you want them to happen. Rather, wish that what happens happens the way it happens, and you will be happy. Acceptance is your ticket to peace, not because everything is perfect, but because you're strong enough to face the truth. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and seeing a clear reflection of your life, as it is right now. No filters, no dreams of how it could be, just the unvarnished truth. It's raw, maybe even painful, but it's also real. And here's the power of it. When you accept things as they are, you can finally focus on what's within your control. You can stop hoping they'll change. Stop waiting for things to be different and start taking control of your own path forward. Now, some of you might think, but if I accept that they're gone, isn't that giving up? No, it's not giving up. It's choosing peace over fantasy. It's choosing to respect your own time, energy, and self-worth, enough to stop living for a possibility that may never come by accepting reality. You're creating space for growth, for new connections, and for self-discovery. You're making room for a life that doesn't depend on someone else's choices. It's hard to accept what is, but that's also what makes you strong. Whenever you find yourself thinking about what could have been, bring yourself back to what is. Accepting your current situation is the first step to living, not waiting. If that's challenging for you, remember that facing the truth is the bravest thing you can do. Running away from reality keeps you repeating the same story. But the moment you embrace the truth, no matter how painful, you free yourself from the cycle of false hope and can finally see things clearly enough to make choices that serve you, not some fantasy version of what might happen. As Marcus or IUS wisely said, you controls your mind, not outside events. If you understand this, you will find strength. This is about taking responsibility for your life, staying in the present, and trusting that your strength is not in waiting, but in meeting whatever comes your way, head on. Here's an affirmation for this stage. Say it, own it, and let it remind you that a peaceful life doesn't require fantasies or the past. If you're ready to commit, leave it in the comments. I embrace reality and derive strength from the truth, as accepting the facts reclaims control over your life. You stop living on someone else's terms and start building a future that's based on strength, resilience, and truth. Stay with me and don't think about leaving. Avoid that mistake. Stay because each step is crucial and builds on the last. Acceptance is just the start. The next steps will bring you even closer to a place of trust. Keep going with clarity and self-worth. You're making something unstoppable. Number 5. Switch your attention to something else. Okay, people, I know they're on your mind. They've probably been on your mind from the time you wake up until you go to sleep. That's why the next step is so important. Right now, stop devoting all your energy to thoughts of them, as they are draining you, keeping you stagnant, and preventing you from progressing forward. Every minute you spend wondering what they're doing, if they're missing you, or thinking about you is time, peace, and attention being given to someone who isn't there. This isn't just about allowing them to occupy your thoughts. It's about reclaiming your own space. Imagine the potential achievements you could achieve if you focused all that attention on your own personal development. Hearts and dreams. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, it's not that we don't have enough time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Every thought you have about them is a waste of time that could be invested in the one person who will always be there for you. Imagine you're holding a flashlight in a dark room, and for too long you've been shining it on them, making them the center of your mental world. But what if you turned that flashlight back on yourself? You'd start to see parts of your life that need care, attention, and healing. You'd start to see things you could work on and dreams you could achieve. You would begin to pursue and achieve the dreams you had previously put off because you were now occupied with someone else. It's not simple to change your attention focus, and there's no magic button that will make it happen right away. However, the first step is to make small, intentional choices. Every time you lose yourself in thinking about them, try focusing on something you're grateful for, or a goal instead. Try thinking about something you're grateful for, or a goal instead. Your plan doesn't have to be big. It could be as simple as, today I'm going to work on my fitness, or I'll spend time learning that new skill I've been interested in. Yes, this takes discipline. You'll want to check in and see what they're up to, but every time you turn your attention back to yourself, you're building a strong habit of self-prioritization. As time goes on, this shift in focus will become natural, and their attention will fade. Your own goals and interests will take precedence. If it's challenging for you to keep your mind on yourself, remember that this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even if you can shift your focus half the time, you're still taking back control. Marcus Aurelius said that the happiness of your life rests on the quality of your thoughts. Imagine how content you would be if your thoughts were completely in line with your goals, values, and dreams. Here is a useful lesson. Every morning, write down 3 things you want to do for yourself that day. Whenever you think about them, pull out the list to remind yourself of what's essential and get back to focusing on the steps that will get you there. Going toward your dreams. This list will serve as a daily reminder that you are investing in yourself. Here's a powerful affirmation to guide you through this step. I focus on my growth and my goals. Say this to yourself every time your mind wanders, or when you catch yourself giving energy to thoughts that don't serve you. If you're ready to commit to this, leave a comment with your mantra. I focus on my growth and my goals. This will help you get back on track. Now let's proceed to the next crucial step, which you will likely regret. Number 6 is lost. Let's see this as growth, okay? This step is all about changing your view and learning to see it as a chance for growth. It's straightforward to see the no-contact phase as a punishment, a time to wait and wonder. But what if you flip that view? What if this phase didn't feel like a painful break, but rather a powerful time of growth? Imagine that every moment of silence and every urge to reach out is actually a chance to get stronger, smarter, and more robust. Think about it. In this way, growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Marcus Aurelius said, "The thing that stands in the way of action becomes the way." Right now, you're in a place where you're learning to rely on yourself to build a life that doesn't depend on anyone else's attention or approval. As he said, the impediment to action advances action. This phase of no contact, as hard as it is actually the path to becoming the best version of yourself. Imagine a seed buried in the soil. It's in darkness. The pressure is precisely what it requires to flourish. Similarly, this time may feel heavy and like you're in the dark, but it's actually setting the stage for growth. Every day you choose to focus on yourself instead of reaching out. You're digging deeper and building the strength you need to truly thrive. It's important to know that your pain isn't pointless. Every ache and longing is a reminder of what you can handle. It's a sign that you're ready to deal with difficult emotions without relying on someone else to fix them. That's powerful. You're showing yourself you can overcome pain, which will follow you throughout your life. Now, some of you may be thinking, "But I don't feel like I'm growing. I just feel stuck." That's okay. Growth doesn't always feel like progress. It often feels like struggle. But just because you can't see the change happening doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Remember that even the strongest trees grow in silence below the ground long before we see their leaves and branches. Trust that every moment you hold back, every time you choose yourself over them, you're building something real. Epicus, a Stoic philosopher, asserted that achieving greatness takes time, akin to the development of a cluster of grapes or a fig. If you want a fig, I will tell you that it must first blossom, then bear fruit, and then ripen. This is your time to blossom. Let it be a time of quiet growth, knowing that the strength you're building now will pay off in the long run. If you're having trouble seeing this as growth, start small. Think about how much stronger you feel now compared to day one. Think about the small wins. Maybe it was one day you didn't check your phone. Maybe it was one moment you focused on a personal goal instead of wondering about them. Each of these steps is growth, even if it seems small. Here's an affirmation for this stage. I grow stronger with every step. Say it out loud, write it down, and believe it. If you're ready to commit to this growth, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Every step I take makes me stronger. Let this serve as a reminder that this journey isn't about regaining control. It's about reclaiming your own identity. Seeing this phase as a growth spurt changes your focus from waiting to creating, from longing to building. You're not here to stop your life. You're here to change it. Stay with me, because every step forward makes you stronger. Adding to the last one brings you closer to a place of strength, peace, and purpose. The trip isn't over yet, and each choice you make makes you stronger. Pay attention to what you can change. We all know that the only thing we can truly control is ourselves. You can't change how they're feeling, when or if they'll reach out, or how they're spending their time right now, but you can change your actions, your mindset, and your growth. And trust me, that's where your true power lies. When you stop focusing on things you can't change, you stop wasting energy on things that are out of your control. This is freeing because it changes your perspective from dependence to empowerment. You're no longer waiting for someone else to validate your worth. Instead, you're actively building it from within. Imagine how fulfilling it would be to channel all the energy you previously spent on them towards achieving your goals, pursuing your passions, and investing in your personal growth. Think about it. Marcus Aurelius said that you controlled your mind, not outside events. Someone who is unstoppable, grounded, and focused on their own growth doesn't require praise from others. Realize this, and you'll feel stronger. The more you work on building your own strength, the less things outside of your power will affect you. The best part is that when you invest in yourself and fully embrace this focus, you're making a life where your happiness isn't dependent on what other people do or decide. Something wonderful takes place. People are drawn to individuals who are content, purposeful, and possess inner strength. This change can show them how valuable you are, make them curious, and make them crawl back, because who's prettier? The person who is strong, stable, and sure of themselves, or the one who is hoping, waiting, and needing, is more attractive. This isn't a game. It's about becoming the best, most independent version of yourself. Whenever you find yourself thinking about them or worrying about what they might do, bring your attention back to yourself and set goals. Become interested in new things and work on yourself in ways that you can see and feel. Take charge of your actions, control your growth, and let the rest unfold naturally. Here's an affirmation for you to hold on to. I focus on my power, not their actions. Say it to yourself whenever you feel your mind drifting to things you can't control. Write it down and drop it in the comments if you're ready to commit. I focus on my power, not their actions. Let it be a constant reminder that your strength is in your control over yourself, not in someone else's response. This step is transformative because it frees you from waiting for external validation. When you focus on what you can control, you step into a whole new level of empowerment, and trust me, that's the most attractive, unshakable place to be. Stick with me because this journey is building on every step, and each one is bringing you closer to a life where you're fully in control, living with confidence and peace. Number 8. Turn your pain into power, and here we are, folks, the true transformative step. Turn your pain into power. This step isn't just about moving forward. It's about using every bit of hurt, disappointment, and longing as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And let me tell you, when you learn to channel pain like this, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. This is what makes you magnetic, what turns heads, and what makes people see your true worth. Pain can be a powerful teacher if you let it right now. You're holding on to emotions that could weigh you down, but instead of letting pain pull you into despair, use it to build something meaningful. Think about it. Pain is a way for players to get past problems. Emotional pain helps artists create masterpieces, and failures help businesses improve. You can also deal with the pain you're in right now. Where do you begin? Don't ignore or push away the pain. Sit with it, understand it, and ask yourself what it's teaching you. Pain can reveal our deepest fears, desires, and strengths. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body." Let this difficulty be your training ground, a place to build mental strength and endurance. Think of this: whenever you feel that pang of longing, that urge to reach out, that memory of what you've lost, use it as a sign to do something for yourself. Begin a workout plan. You're not running away from the pain. You're turning it into something positive that strengthens you instead of breaking you down. Every step you take toward growth is a step toward turning that pain into a source of inner power. Now, let's be honest, this isn't a quick fix. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. But remember that transformation isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every small choice you make to turn pain into power is a victory. It means choosing to rise even when it's hard, and all you want to do is give up. As you grow from your pain, it loses power. You're no longer a victim of it, you're in charge of it, which, let's be honest, makes you incredibly powerful. People gravitate towards individuals who can transform setbacks into strengths and refuse to let their problems define them. When you turn pain into power, you radiate confidence, self-worth, and resilience. People will respect and admire you if you have this kind of energy. This energy causes people to take notice and wonder how you can be so strong. You're no longer looking for praise. You're becoming someone worth admiring who knows their own worth. It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. The way you handle this pain is your choice. Here's an affirmation for you. I turn my pain into power. Talk to yourself every day, write it down, and post it in the comments if you're ready to change. I turn my pain into power. It should be your declaration and reminder that every struggle fuels growth. At this point, everything changes. You're not waiting for things to get better or for someone to validate you. You're actively building strength from within by using pain as a catalyst to become a person who is resilient, empowered, and magnetic. This is more than just getting through no contact. It's about creating a life so full of purpose, strength, and self-worth that anyone would be lucky to be a part of it. That's all there is to it, folks. Could you please take a moment to show your appreciation for this video? I hope it provides the strength and clarity you need for this trip. Also, sign up. Most of you watch, get advice, and then leave. However, if you wish to assist us in reaching more individuals in need of this message, such as yourself, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I can't wait to see you in the next video that changes things. Stay strong until then.